Hello, I'm Julie Garnier from Rustic Cottage Co. and welcome to my channel. I'm located in the northwest of England, but I have travelled quite a lot around the different countries, US, Canada and Mexico mostly, but also around the Caribbean. Through my journey of travel, I've learned to love the different styles of decoration, home decor and furniture, and started my own business creating and selling for myself. My channel here on YouTube, Rustic Cottage Co, is now doing so well. I am happy to create every week a different video to show you furniture, home decor of different styles, shabby chic, rustic, primitive, shabby chic, farmhouse, lots of different ideas. I love them all. I am equally all and differently. I hope I inspire you to create too, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. Hi everyone, I'm Julie from Rustic Cottage Co. If you haven't seen me for a while or you're new to my channel, welcome or welcome back. It's been a little while since I've been doing some videos. I did one last week and sorry, there's a lot of construction going on, but I wanted to be outside, so hopefully you can hear me. I did one last week, so hopefully you saw that one. If you didn't, just tune back after this video and have a look at last week's video. But it has been a while since I did one before that, and I explained all that in the last video, so I'm not going to explain again. But I am back, and my videos basically are going to be all about what I get up to. You know, now I'm here living in the UK and enjoying life over here. I'm out and about, so I do a lot of days out, travel, that kind of thing. So I like to show you the UK, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and now I've got an aeroplane going over, so another noise, sorry about that. So those are the places I like to show you, and also doing a little bit of cooking, gardening, DIY, and obviously my crafts and furniture. Hopefully I'll get back into soon, but haven't had the motivation recently and not sure. We'll see what comes up soon anyway. This week is another week that is, I just didn't expect it, another surprise, so I figured I would video as it goes along. And what happened is, if you heard last week, my partner has been very sick recently, and he had a hospital appointment checkup on Friday, and so we went to that, and everything was, you know, just test results and things like that coming up, so that's fine. You know, you deal with it as you go along. So we decided, or he decided, to take me out for breakfast after, and I thought, oh, that's lovely. So we went for breakfast, and I was expecting him to go to work after, and then he said, oh, it's a lovely day, let's go out for the day. So we travelled and went out for the day, and this is where we ended up. So as I was saying, we decided to drive along the motorway, not the most scenic drive, but we went up the motorway, up from where we are now in the Manchester area towards the north east in a diagonal, and we drove and drove, or he drove. Unfortunately, I don't have an English driver's license, so I'm not driving over here, but he drove and he drove and he drove, and then he said, put into the, they call it sat-nav over here, we call it GPS in Canada and America, but they call it sat-nav over here, for Whitley Bay. And we decided to then go. It was about 20 minutes away, and we arrived at Whitley Bay and pulled up, parked the car, and decided to walk along the different bay areas, beach areas of Whitley Bay. We arrived around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, time we'd had breakfast and did the drive and everything else, and look at where we landed. We ended up near the sea in the different bays and just walked along the seafront for hours and loved. The weather was beautiful, the place is beautiful. As you can see, it's just stunning. The beach is a sandy beach, which can be quite rare in this country. There are a lot of them, but there's also a lot of pebbly beaches, and this one's a beautiful sand beach. Lovely clear sea. You wouldn't believe actually how clear it is. It's not quite the Caribbean, but I couldn't believe actually how clear the sea was. So that was very interesting for me. It's been a long time since I've gone to the seaside in England, and the last couple of years I've been actually now seeing it as an adult rather than a child. I'm seeing the beauty of it and seeing that it's actually a lot nicer than what I remember. And we walked along, saw the water, saw the beach, sat and had a coffee, had a beautiful time, lovely time. So we just ended up walking. There was little bay after little bay, and just walked along, and just each turn around the corner into the little cove of the next bay just was more beautiful each time we went. And there was ships, there was sailing boats, all kinds of things in the water, and people swimming, people enjoying the day. It was a beautiful sunny day. You couldn't have asked for a better last minute. My partner was supposed to be working, took the day off, took me out and just spoiled me. It was a stunning, lovely day, and we just walked along and walked, and that's one thing we do, both of us, since started enjoying doing, is walking. It's good for your health, but also good for your mind, and it clears the head, and especially when you're walking along the seafront like this, there's nothing better than to clear your head and clear your thoughts and just rejuvenate you. And we had a lovely day just walking along. We went up to the lighthouse, which is a very modern looking lighthouse. And one thing about Whitley Bay is that John was saying he hadn't been in that area for a good 20 years himself, and it's been completely redeveloped, and they've done the seafront and the whole area, the hotels, the restaurants and everything just done up so beautifully. I wouldn't say it's super modern, which is, as you all know, definitely not my style, but it's very simple, natural and beautiful, and contrasts beautifully with obviously the natural scenery of the seaside and the beach and everything. If I was walking along any seafront, the way they've done it would be exactly perfectly what I would want a place to look like. Clean, beautiful and just amazing. As I was saying earlier, I just couldn't believe how clear the sea is, and I got to a point where I could actually just look down with my camera and just capture the rocks and the water and how clear and beautiful the sea is. As you can see, unfortunately, in any seaside resort in England, they do have the pipes out. That's where a lot of the waste goes into the sea, which is not a good thing, but this is one of the areas that the sea is clear, it's beautiful and safe to be in the water, and Again, a rare thing in the UK, and lovely to see how just beautiful and clear the water was. We had a lovely day. It was a nice surprise, and coming towards the end of the day, the weather was so beautiful. The day was so nice. We decided to sit down at a restaurant outside, just looking over at the sea, have some dinner, have some drinks, and just chill out. And it was just beautiful. Absolutely the best date you could go on, and last minute choices taken away for the day, lovely weather, beautiful company, and just the walks were amazing. And then sat having a couple of glasses of wine, a dinner, and just out looking out to the sea. That is something you don't think of to do in the UK, and there are odd days you can do it, and we made the most of it. It was absolutely beautiful. And just as while I was having dinner, John came up with, find a hotel close by, let's stay the night. And I looked up on my phone, which, just technology these days, absolutely wonderful. Found a hotel within walking distance, booked a room, went into the room later on and stayed the night. So just after our dinner, and then before we went to our room, we decided to go for one last walk, and we went towards the port area where the tugboats were bringing in the ships. So the ships that we'd seen out in the water all afternoon, they weren't moving, and I guess what they were waiting for was the tide to turn and the tide to come in. And when it was deep enough, the tugboats went out and started to bring the ships into the port area. So we decided to go a little further around the bays and go towards the port area before going to the hotel. So where this is situated, it's Whitley Bay, and as we say, we went up the motorway from the Manchester area towards the northeast, which is a diagonal across country, and this is above Newcastle, so it's very, very far northeast. Not far, just below Scotland, so we drove quite a few hours up there. And Whitley Bay, I would definitely recommend anyone coming to the UK, especially if you can, get in a car and do a drive on a nice dry day, or even a beautiful sunny day like today. This is a definite thumbs up for me to go to Whitley Bay and enjoy the day, and even maybe have some more time. Just before the actual port area was the pier, and also there was the castle. There was a castle in the area, and we walked by that and saw the castle. And as I say, that it's just stunning how there's different things that to see, and you just wouldn't believe as you walk along a nice beach and have a nice walk, and then there's a castle and the sea and the nice scenery and a glass of wine, how perfect the day could be. And as we continued on, we got to the port where all the sailing boats and the fishing boats and come in, and as just kept going. How beautiful the area is, just kept going and going and going. And we had a wonderful day. We walked all afternoon, walked all evening, sitting and having coffee and drinks and dinner in between, just enjoying the best of the weather and having a lovely day. Stopped in the hotel, and the next morning we continued. We got up, had breakfast again, spoilt for an English breakfast, and then we drove down the coast a little bit and came to this area near Sunderland. It's a beautiful, quaint little area with restaurants and shops and fish and chips and the beach and everything. And we decided to have lunch and just share a fish and chips because we've been eating and drinking all day yesterday and had a lovely breakfast this morning, so didn't need much, but it was just such a beautiful day. We sat out at the beach, fish and chips that we shared, and had a lovely time for a lunch in this area, and then we kept going to the next beach. It's just lovely how, it's set up to park up, see the water, have our lunch. This is where we sat and had our lunch, and there's the fish and chip place that we got our chips from, and we're right next to the water. Lovely little place, and I would recommend going back there. And then, as I say, just after lunch, we decided then it was about time to get in the car and drive back home, and it was a lovely day. Thank you for watching. I'm Julie Garnier from Rustic Cottage Co. Don't forget to subscribe.